Testing volume, test, test, test. The music is loud, but testing volume otherwise. All right, I don't feel like waiting around, so let's just get this thing going. So I played in a Keyforge tournament today. I played in a sealed Keyforge tournament. If you don't know what Keyforge is a unique deck game, meaning you buy a single deck, and with that single deck, you go and play each other, right? You just take it out, you look at it, you play the other person. And then if you win, then you play someone that's also won. And then if you win that, then you've played the person that's also won. And you basically just keep doing that until everyone's either won or lost their 4 rounds. In this case, it was 4 rounds, and then you see how you did. So there were 4 rounds today. We played Swiss, meaning that you played a like record. So if you won the first game, then you'd play someone else who had won their first game, and so on and so forth. I pulled or I was given, I should say. You don't really like just choose. You're just sort of given a deck. You're given a sealed deck. You open it up. I pulled what I would say a very poor deck in general, because of certain things that made it very difficult to play in general. But I was able to put together some wins. In fact, I put together all the wins. I won 4 of my matches, all 4 of them. The last one being the toughest and the most interesting, most fun. And so in winning all 4 of my games, I took first place and got this entire box. This is $120. Basically $120 because there's 12 decks in there, and at $10 a pop, it's $120. So I paid $15 and got $120 worth of product. That's pretty sweet. It was super fun. I was happy to win all 4 of my games, and I feel like I played very well for the deck that I was given. So let's see what's in here, shall we? Let's open it up. I perforated the plastic, and I brought some scissors. I prepared myself from the last time, a couple of days ago when we opened this stuff up. So let's see what we got. Haha. All right, 12 decks. I should make some room so that I can put this stuff somewhere. We'll open all 12. We'll see what's up. We'll see how it goes. Last time we opened a box, it was absolutely insane. The last box we opened, we ended up with, let's see, out of the 12 decks, we ended up with 2 Mavericks, we ended up with 2 Legacy cards, and we ended up with just an absolutely insanely hilarious looking Logos deck that just wanted to draw a bunch of cards. And I played that deck the next day, and it was awesome. It indeed wanted to draw a bunch of cards because my opponent recognized the desire to remove the 3 Sutterkins and the other 2 Logos creatures before I drew 15 cards on turn 3. So good on that player for removing that combo because it was disgusting. Let's make sure we get everything all ready and focused up. Go here, go properties, go this, and now we are ready. Okay. Huzzah. All right. Rip it open. Let's get started. We're not going to look at the deck list. We're just going to look at what we see on here. So I was watching some other content creators with their content talking about tier lists for houses. And I really liked the video. Whoever posted it talked about the tier lists and kind of gave them all rankings. They ranked Mars as the highest, they ranked Brobnar as the lowest, and they ranked Sanctum as the second highest. Things that if I'm looking for cards, which I don't really care what comes in each of these decks, but if I were looking for something, it would be cool to see a Martian Generosity deck. It would be cool to see a Rat deck, a Plague Rat deck. It'd be cool to see some Shards, because I didn't get any of those. And I don't really know what else. Just a fun-looking deck. I don't know. I got a deck that archived like crazy. I can't get this plastic off. What in the world? Scissors. Scissors near this plastic. It's kind of dangerous. Oh, hey, wait. Did I get it? Nope. Scissors near thin plastic and thin paper, cardboard, whatever. Doesn't seem like a good idea, but I'm doing it anyway. Let's open this up. Again, we're not going to look at the deck list. We're going to be surprised by whatever is in here. So, card by card, here we go. Bingle Bang Bang. Pretty interesting little card. Let's see if we can make sure that's in focus. I'm going to turn this on like this so I can see. Studio mode is going away. This can now go over here. Man, I wish my signal weren't like so terrible that it would just drop out and drop in. I wish it would just stick around. But it doesn't. And that's life, man. Sometimes you don't have great connection. Sometimes you live in a place where connection is poor. That's why you record these things and upload them later, which is what I'm doing. Cool, Bingle Bangle. I'm not going to spend a ton of time talking about cards unless I'm super hyped about it. Coward's End, that card is cool. Pretty decent, I guess, for Bingle Bangle, but he kind of kills anything he comes across. Come on, Signal. Don't drop all these frames. Don't be dropping all these frames. Figure it out. First Blood. This card's kind of hard to use if you don't have a bunch of creatures, Brobnar creatures already on the board. But it's an amber. Gauntlet of Command is a good artifact. Lollop the Titanic is pretty sweet. Pound. Pretty good card. That was in the deck that I played today and was part of the reason why I was able to kind of put something together with a pretty mediocre deck. Trimmer's pretty good card. Burn the Stockpile. It's a great card. One of the few amber control, like really good amber control cards sort of left in the game, which is important to know if you're playing it sealed. Kulf the Quiet, decent little dude, but not great. Fire Spitter, ooh, that guy's good. Is that a legacy card? Man, I wish these frames would stop dropping and rolling. Barehanded, it's also a good card. Good artifact control. So we have some good control pieces. What is this? Oh, that's a rare. Good control pieces in this Brobnar side. Oh, a shard. See? Look, I wanted shards, man. There's one. Cool. Shard of Strength. This one's not great, but, you know, whatever. It is what it is. Okay, on to the Mars side of things. Collector Worm. Pretty decent card. I think this card is cool because of the 5 armor. That's, like, way better than you would think because the armor regenerates each turn. Glixel Proliferator. Kind of a hard card to use because you got to get it out there, keep it on a flank, and then reap with it to get anything. Ixiel, the guy I can't say. Fix Finger. Impossible to say. Mars First. It's like a better squawker, and by better I mean not busted. Mars needs amber. Got some good amber pieces so far. Cool. Mother Gun. I'm not crazy about Mother Gun. I guess it's functional. Tixel, yeah. Beam Buckler. It's kind of interesting card. Ooh, Containment Field. That one's cool. Uncommon Containment Field. Hypno Beam. Take control of something. I like it. Let's keep going. Mothership Support. That's a good card. We've got enough creatures as well, so this actually functions pretty decently. Gromids showing up as the rare, or a rare. I'm not sure if there's more than one. Shard of Hate. Probably the, well, I don't know. It's not the worst shard. But it's an interesting one, I guess. An interesting one. All right, and on to Sanctum. Hallowed Shield. This is an artifact that I'm not crazy about. Because all you're doing is choosing a creature and making sure it doesn't get dealt damage. So it's got to be like a Sanctum creature. But Sanctum creatures in this meta or in this set are really good. Healing Blast. Protect the Weak. So we got a lot of amber generating cards in this deck. Sir Marrow's pretty decent. Keep it going. Another Sir Marrow's. Did I mention he's pretty decent? Because he's pretty decent. Smite. I wish that card gave you an amber, but that would kind of be a lot. Ooh, Doorstep to Heaven. So there's both Doorstep to Heaven and Burn the Stockpile in this deck, which is solid. Prince Derek Unifier. It's not often going to trigger, but if it does trigger, it's really good. It's really good. Radiant Truth. That card is super good as well. Basically all control cards are super good. Mother Northel. Okay, I saw this on a deck list online, but I didn't know what the card did. So let's see. 2 power, elusive, reap, move 1 from a friendly creature to your pool. That's great for capture in this set, but we don't have any capture so far. Opal Knight's going to destroy everything with even, so it kills your Mother Northel. Final card, Shard of Hope. Oh, so we got a 3 shard deck. See, that makes me happy. I like that. I like that a lot. I'm crazy about that. I really like that shard from the, what is it? Shadows House. I like the Shadows shard. So there's the full thing. Yeah, Fire Spitter is a legacy card. Nice. So we've got a legacy deck, okay? And a 3 shard deck. Sweet. That's 1 down, 11 to go. 1 down, 11 to go. Let's do another one. I'm crazy about logos. So, again, I'm going to reference this dude's tier list, which I honestly almost straight across the board agree with. This is Mr. Napleply Hansen is the name of the deck list. This dude who created this video, I'm going to go find it, and then I'll put a link or something in it, because I appreciate him for making this video. He was big on none of these decks. In fact, these were the bottom 3 houses of this set in his mind. Brobnar, Untamed, and Logos. I can see where he's coming from to a certain extent. He was talking very high-level play. But man, if you're looking to have some fun, there are some fun cards. What is that one from Untamed that people are kind of hyped about? Put the thing over there. The one where you discard your hand, both players discard their hand and then draw up as if they were at the end of their turn. That card is cool. I would like to have that card. 1-2 Punch. Not a bad card, especially if you have other stun effects in your deck. Bramo, deal 2, or Bramo, I don't know. Deal 2 to each enemy flank creature. 1-2 Punch again. What? Why are those out of order? That's weird. Huh. Weird. Cowfine. Meh. This is a cool name, though. Oh, we got a Drummerknot. There was someone who posted a deck list online on Facebook that had an absolutely insane Brobnar side with like Drummerknot and multiple ways to re-trigger it. Gauntlet of Command. See, that's a way to re-trigger it. Lollop, the Titanic. Now, you know what would be cool is if we had Flex in here. Pound. Another, I think that's a good card. I mean, it gives you an amber and it deals some damage. Sets up your stuff. Flamethrower. Okay. Continuing on. Ooh, Jargantis Scrapper. It's an alpha, so you have to play it first, but if you do have 3 or more when you play it, then you deal 3 to an enemy creature. It's kind of tough to use. It's uncommon, so we're in the uncommons now. Oh, man, the Flex. Look at it go. That's pretty sweet. That works great with Lollop the Titanic. What about some buffs? Let's put some buffs on him. Mugwump. Hey, that's a good card. Mugwump is just generally pretty good. Okay, on to Logos. So that's not a bad Brobnar side. Some interesting cards that people enjoy. Archimedes, this card is fun. I played a match on Friday with Archimedes and ZYX and Helperbot, and I had Archimedes in the middle, and I kept trading in my Helperbot and my ZYX, and they kept archiving, and it was hilarious. I got a lot of stuff done. Wait, is that out of order? No, it's not. Cutthroat Research is a pretty decent card. At least it gives you an amber, but it could possibly give you up to 3 amber. Igor is also a good card. This is one of my favorite cards in the entire set. What did you miss? There's a 3-shard deck. The very first deck that I opened was a 3-shard deck, and that was on my list of things I was interested in. So list number 1, or check number 1. Hey, Helperbot. Archimedes, come on. Helper bot, Archimedes, that's a good combo. Lab work, so you can archive some more, which is pretty sweet. Archiving is super fun with logos now. I think that's where it should have been in the original set. Gonna poke some stuff. I really enjoy archiving and just kind of doing that very aggressively, and you can play it in multiple different ways. Professor Sutterkin. Okay, this card I am big on personally. I think it's awesome. I think it's very much a must kill card. I think you have to kill this, otherwise it's just free card draw if they have other Logos creatures on the board, or if they don't and you just play this early in the game, you're just threatening to draw into Logos cards because he draws off himself. He draws a card for himself if you just reap. So if you if you just reworded this, technically, if he's just in the field, he says reap, draw a card, and gain an amber. I mean, like, that's technically what reaping does, but draw a card. Reap, draw a card. Man, we've played that before. Wild Wormhole. That's good. Good card. 2 Wild Wormholes is even better. Cool. I'll take that. So as long as Untamed doesn't completely screw this up, this is a pretty fun looking deck. And then Memory Chip, which I don't know. I guess it archives you some more stuff. So maybe that's good. Come on, thing. And Strange Gizmo, which doesn't work great for decks that are trying to build boards like with Brobnar. Okay, on to Untamed. We've got a Dusk Witch, a card that I have in like 1 or 2 decks already, but I have not actually played. So there's that. Dusk Witch, cool. Full Moon, oh, that's good with Dusk Witch. Maybe there's some more. If there's some more Untamed creatures, this would be a pretty good little deck. Marmo Swarm. So that's an interesting little synergy. Full Moon with Marmo Swarm. He's at least, if you play those both at the same turn, he's at least a 3-power creature. Persistence Hunting. This is a good card. I played it multiple times in this tournament that won me this whole box, and every single time it was like useful, super useful. Save the Pack, meh. Actually, Save the Pack with, was there a Bromnar thing that, no, that was the other deck that, oh, you missed, sorry. In the 3-shard deck, Zach Pope, there was a legacy card, and it was Fire Spitter. Tantadlin. Tantadlin. I think that's how it's pronounced. Tantadlin. This card's not very good, but whatever. They're everywhere. Gives you an amber, and it pops some stuff. This was a card that I wasn't too big on, and then I played it a bunch because I had it in the deck that I ran today, and it did work. I mean, deals 2 or deals 1. Pretty good. Nature's Call, that's pretty good. Not a ton of creatures in this Untamed side, so Dusk Witch isn't doing very much work. Nifflegrounds, choose a creature. For the remainder of that turn, this turn, the creature loses taunt and gains elusive, or loses taunt and elusive, excuse me. That's kind of interesting. Take out your opponent's stuff. Soldiers to Flowers, that's a pretty fine card. We're running out of time, oh no. Hazardous 3 is fine, gives you an amber. Last card. Oh, hey, it's Punctuated Equilibrium, though. I kind of wanted this card. That's fun. Let's see how many Untamed creatures there were, though. Didn't look like there were many, which makes this a little tough. 1. Uh-oh. 2, 3. Yeah, that's unfortunate. 3 Untamed creatures makes this a little unfortunate. But, man, the rest of this was fun. Good good Brobnar stuff with the Flex and the Lollop and the Drummerknot and stuff like that. But it was also pretty decent... Double Wormhole, Professor Sutterkin, Helperbot, and Igor. Maybe you could play. Maybe you can play like the Dusk Witch and hope it sticks, and then play. What was that? Geez, I forgot. Full Moon off of the Wild Wormhole or something. That'd be pretty cool. Or off the Helperbot. Interesting. Interesting. So that's the deck list. After all is said and done. See, it seems like it's not quite as clear as I would want that, but whatever. Deck list on the bottom. Deck list on the bottom, good. Okay, continuing on, deck number 3. They're everywhere plus Save the Pack is amazing. Yes, it is. I agree with that. That's true. I'm not even worrying about these boxes anymore. I say forget it. Okay, well, this is the box of Untamed Brobnar, because that's been literally all 3 of these. No, the first one was Brobnar Sanctum Mars. Come on, Martian Generosity. That'd be fun. I don't even care if it's paired with like anything good. I just like drawing cards, man. Drawing cards is where it's at. What is this? Get off me. This is impossible. This deck is never going to be opened. Why did they package these so difficult? Oh my goodness. 10 decks had Dis? That is insane. Well, hopefully 10 decks don't have Brobnar because we're up to 3 of 3 now. And, I mean, I guess I'll gain some sort of an appreciation for Brobnar. 2 blue or 2 purple decks. Darwant the Gloomy. Darwant the Gloomy. The first deck was a funny name. Plant of the Provincial. That's not that funny. Okay, continuing on. Darwant the Gloomy. 1-2 punch. Let's keep going. Another 1-2 punch. This time they're in order and they're not like separated by a random card. Calfine. Foozle. Groggins. Lollop. Hey, there's a lot of Brobnar creatures at least. Maybe we can do something with that. Burn the Stockpile. Good card. Check. Flamethrower. A mech card. Maybe Untamed has Save the Pack, then it's a pretty decent card. Flame Wake Shaman. That one's pretty good, especially if there was a Drummernaut. But there's not a Drummernaut, so sad day. Maybe there's some sort of a bounce effect. I don't know. Ogo Pogo. That's a funny one. It's a pretty art, though. Like this, some of the art on the Brobnar side of things, like just the general aesthetic, is lame. But man, some of those cards, they did a good job. Like I think this card is cool, and I think the art is interesting. Interesting indeed. Cyber Giant Rig, so that's a fun one. You play it on something, and it gets some stuff, and then it slowly ticks down, slowly removes it over time. Pretty cool. Gives you an amber too. Ooh, Signal Fire. You can fight as though they belong to the active house. And this is actually pretty good in this deck because so far we've turned a lot of those over. So a decent amount of Brobnar creatures over. Okay, on to Sanctum and all of their Sanctum-y goodness. How many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 out of the 12 cards were Brobnar were fighty boys, were creatures. This card is really good. That's just such a good card. I would like multiple of him, please and thank you. Oh no. This card's not as good. So we get 2 of them. Don't insult the deck. This is what happens if you insult the deck. Hallowed Shield. I like Albad the Grim. I gotta figure out how to say that dude's name. Protect the Weak. Good for other houses, like throw it on something other house. Brobnar Ambassador, so we could play him out there and then fight or reap with him and then use or play a Brobnar card this turn. Interesting thing, you can use one that's on the board already, or you can use one from your hand. Play one from your hand, which is pretty cool. 2 of them. Hey, see? Just say nice things about the card and it gives you another one. Again, we're not looking at the deck list. Free Markets. Wow, that's actually... Free Markets is solid with 2 ambassadors. The ambassador allows you to play a Brobnar, and then Free Markets allows you to get extra amber because you can do it all in the same turn. That's pretty solid. I like that. The harder they come, purge a creature with 5 or higher. Not a bad control little piece. Armageddon Cloak. Wow, it's been a while since I've seen that card. I had very few decks with Armageddon Cloak in it. That is an A, and it's a rare. Maybe this is a rare as well. Ooh, Begone. Destroy each Dis or gain 1. So it's either a gain 1 card, or if you're up against Dis, then it's something decent. But otherwise, it's not. 1 stood against many. Hey, look at that. 3 rare Sanctum cards. And this is a fun one, too. And you could conceivably play this on your Brobnar creatures like the big Lollop, the Titan dude. Okay, on to Untamed. We've got Dusk Witch. Starting off with Dusk Witch. Pretty awesome card. We got 2 of them. Pretty awesome card. Maybe we'll get 4 of them. Fang House. Fang House is cool because of the Assault and Hazardous combo. Outside of that, it's just kind of like, eh. Grove Keeper. Throw that down and maybe give your Dusk Witches some sort of a buff there. Persistence Hunting. Again, I still really like that card. I think that card is solid. So there's 2 of them in the deck. Good. Is it just me, or is it like every time I say something good about a card, there's just multiples? That's good for pulling Dusk Witch, right? You get a Dusk Witch killed, which already has elusive, so they have to invest something to kill it, and then you just pop it right back out the next turn. Play it back down. Rust Gnar. Destroy an artifact. If that artifact had an amber bonus, then you gain that much. Pretty interesting. This is a fight, so you fight with it. You can do it multiple times. If they have a lot of artifacts, or if they have just some good artifacts, you can remove it. Hey, 2 of them. And it's a 4-body, which isn't bad. We're still in the commons. There's only 3 cards left, and we haven't even left the uncommons. Still in the commons. Tantadlin. Common. Oh, Camouflage. Oh, man, that's a good combo. Camouflage on your Dusk Witch. It doesn't really stick well because you can't actually play Camouflage on the Dusk Witch at the same turn, but if you can land it, it's pretty cool. Final one, Perilous Wild. Not a very good rare for that section, but pretty cool card. Kills all your elusive creatures, or your opponent's elusive creatures as well. So, not so good. not so good when you have 2 Dusk Witches, but you know, you don't play those back to back to back. Yeah. Cool. That's some interesting cards in there. The Brobnar side is not half bad at all. Let's see. The deck list looks like this. Yeah, it's not bad. The 2 Brobnar Ambassadors seems pretty fun. All right, 3 down. Let's keep it moving. 3 decks in. More decks now. Wow, okay. Well, Shadows is in this one, but more Untamed. 3 out of 4 are now Untamed. 3 out of 4 are Brobnar. 2 out of 4 are Sanctum. So now we mix it up with a little bit of Dis and Shadows. Plague Rat deck would be fun, but it's not like the end-all be-all. It's not like something I'm going to run out for. Hey, there's like a turtle design for the Archon on this one. It's pretty cool. Dust it off to the side. Get all the little pieces there. Pop the deck list down there. Let's begin, shall we? Starting with Dis, Amber Imp. This affects your own creatures. Therefore, you have to play very carefully with it. I found that out today, or I knew that, and I played very carefully around it today. Banish is a pretty cool card. Puts something into their archive, which can be a little clunky. Dust Imp. A good, solid, old school Dust Imp. Oh, the deck list is, or the name is called Ollie Hexagon Warn Reader. Gub. Pretty fun. Another Gub. Throw them next to each other. No, don't do that. Not Finished With You. I found that card really fun. I like this card a lot because of the fact that it's basically, it's like a, I don't want to say better. It's not better than Arise. It's different, but it's cool. I like it. I think it's a cool card. Tesmal. This card sucks. And by that I mean it's good, and I don't like playing against it. So therefore, it's awesome. Maybe there's 2. I don't know. There's 2! Haha! Nailed it. That card's awesome. Putting it with like Restringuntus is like really gross. Unlocked Gateway so you can blow everything up. Have to be very careful with that card because it's an Omega, meaning after you blow everything up, you can't load the board back up. So if your opponent has cards to load back up with, then the swing doesn't really quite complete. There's 2 of them. Because you can blow the board up, and if they just load up with 3 more creatures or 4 more creatures, then you might run into issues because you just can't pace them out. Yerk. So you could technically play Yerk and discard your Unlocked Gateway if you feel like you're ahead on board and tempo. Creeping Oblivion, so you can purge some stuff. Purge it up. Let's keep it going. Ooh, okay. On to the Shadow stuff. I was hoping for Restringuntus. That would have been sick. Okay. Gamgee is a pretty fun card. It's got elusive, and you can steal if they have more than you. So it's not broken and mean, but it's fun. Knuckles Bolton. I liked this card at first, but then I played it a few times and I went, it's all right. Elusive and Skirmish is kind of cool, the idea of it being comboed together, but it is meh. Lamindra, however, is a little bit more cool. That's a fun one. Can't put her next to the other stuff. Life for a Life. Sacrifice a creature, deal 6. Gain an Amber, too, which is kind of cool. You sacrifice one of your own creatures. That's an interesting. Miasma. Keep them from forging a key. Always solid. Too Much to Protect is also solid, but those are really the only two kind of still solid control pieces. Nerve Blast, though, I should say, is also solid. Ronnie Wrist Clocks. I originally called him Ronnie Wrist Locks, but it's definitely not that. It's Ronnie Wrist Clocks because, as you see, he's selling wrist clocks. This card's awesome as well. It's just a straight-up better version of Urchin. It steals 1. It's got 1 extra body, and it could steal 2 if they have 7 or more. Yeah, that card is good. Swindle. This card's also pretty sweet. Just play it, steal 3. Good tempo-y kind of thing. Whistling Darts. Gain an Amber and pop everything for 1. The most annoying card to track because you got to put, like, if you got like a big board, you got to put 1 token for each thing on the board. That sucks. Hideaway Hole. I just saw this card. I literally just saw this card on the internet and I was like, I'd never seen Hideaway Hole before. And it's pretty cool. It's an Omni, so you sacrifice it on any of your house turns. You gain an Amber from it when you play it, of course, too. And then everything you have gains elusive. I think that's really neat. I just, man, I'm impressed with the design space that they kind of pushed in set 2 and just tried to mess with stuff and create stuff that's new. Skeleton Key's all right for fun games. Ring of Invisibility is all right for fun games. Gives you an Amber. That's probably my second rare. So yeah, on to Untamed. Darna is like whatever because, I don't know, friendly creatures damaged. I don't know, maybe not. Dusk Witch. That's like every Untamed has had Dusk Witch in it. Marmo Swarm. At least this one has a lot of creatures. 3 creatures in a row so far. Regrowth, which is a good action. Gives you an Amber and brings something back. If you pull back your Untamed creature, it's tempo as well. Save the Pack. Did we have something that pinged? I forgot. Oh, yeah, we have Whistling Darts. That's super fun. No way to sort of cheat the Save the Pack out, though, so you have to do it turn after turn. Play the Whistling Darts first and then Save the Pack. Double Save the Pack. Triple, no, I'm just kidding. Tentadlin. They're everywhere. That's a good combo with Save the Pack, as mentioned by Zach Pope previously. Amber Spine Mongrel. This card is cool. So you just stick them out there. If your opponent uses a creature to reap, you get 1. So they have to at least trade this. And it's hard to trade because it's got Hazardous 3. Or at least harder to trade. Bumblebird. I had this in the deck. The deck I played to win this box had 3 untamed creatures. This was one of them, and it was a terrible side of my deck, except the fact that it had, like, They're Everywhere and a couple of other interesting pieces. But yeah, no, it was really, really bad, and it was hard to play around. So I kind of focused on other houses to pick up my wins. It's an interesting card, though, especially because there are a few more creatures in this one. Camouflage, it's good. If you can stick that to your Dusk Witch. And Ink of the Spider. Hey, that's pretty good, too. It's 1 power, play, reap, stun a creature, and it's got poison, so it just goes right on in. Pretty cool. That's not a bad deck either. I mean, it's not like super game breaking. You're not probably going to run that out into like every Archon tournament. But yeah, I could see you taking this deck, particularly because it's got 2 Tesmals, and that's pretty good. And it's got some steel. It's got some control pieces like Life for a Life to like kill something. Whistling Darts. There's a few combos over here. There's some things to be worried about like the Dusk Witch. Yeah, it's not a bad deck, man. Not bad at all. And it's orange. Bonus points for orange decks. Okay, throw up in the chat. I mean, don't throw up in the chat. That would be disgusting. But like post or talk about your favorite deck that you've opened thus far. Something that has been most interesting to you? Some crazy deck or some hilarious deck? For me, it was by far the last deck of the first box that I opened. That deck, I mean, technically it is like out of the 12 decks that I opened and then I owned up until this point, that one was like the 6th best or something, like the 5th best based on rankings. But, you know, ranking sites don't take into effect how well you pilot. So that was my favorite. That was my most interesting. I finally just gave up and used the scissors because I'm not going to sit here. I don't have nails right now. So, oh, well, that didn't even help. Come on, man. Oh, Zach Pope. I saw that Epic Quest deck that you posted. That one's pretty sweet. He is in a Discord chat, and I frequent said Discord server. And he posted a link to it, and that was a pretty sweet deck. Okay, let's look at the name of this. It's long. Oh, God. O. Mucius, Officer of the Furtive Monastery. Okay, here we go. Good houses. I like these houses. Let's do it. Oh, it starts with Binding Irons. You can't go wrong with that, man. Binding Irons first. Cull the Weak. Not bad. Gives you an amber, kills something. Exhume. I liked this card. I played this card today. Exhume. Gives you an amber and gets you something. Misery Exploit. Oh, man. Okay, so I was playing. I didn't use this card for any effect except to discard it throughout the entire day today. And then game 4, which is the final game, me and my opponent were 3-0. Was the only time I actually used this, and I had misplayed the turn before, which is why my opponent actually had 3 Mars creatures that had damage on them. And it turns out that misplay was great because I was able to gain 3 amber off it and eventually win the game. So, go Misery Exploit. Hooray. Not finished with you. Streak. I still want to play this card. I haven't played it yet, but it feels like a decent, not mean version of Succubus. Yerk. Again, just discard some cards from off houses, stuff like that. Second Yerk. Cool. Old Yerk. Discard everything. 3 Fates. That's a good card. I enjoy that one. Gain an amber, kill 3 things, top 3 things. Collar of Subordination, is that the rare? That's probably just the 1 rare. What is a C, though? There could be a second rare here. Oh, and there is. Oh, man, what's that mark on this card? Maybe I can get it off. Is it working? You guys see that? There's like a mark right there. After a creature reaps, stun it. Pretty cool, though. Gain an amber. That's weird. It's like a smudge. It's a smudge. On to, there we go. On to Mars. Agent Human seems to be the first because it's a common and it starts with A. Carpet Floatsome. This card's pretty good. Good little board wipe if you're behind on the board. Collector Worm. Double Collector Worm. Mars first. What would you want to bring out? You could bring out a Collector Worm and then fight with it. It's fine. Double Mars first. I like that. That's solid. Let's get some more creatures in here. Or not. Mars needs amber. That's okay because it gains you an amber. And it gets you more amber, which is pretty sweet. Xanthax Harvester. That's pretty cool. And we've got what? 1, 2, just 2? 3? 3 Mars creatures. He's the 4th. So you could put him on the flank or put a creature next to him to make him work. Double Xanthax Harvester. So he can stack him next to himself. Reap gain 1. Reap gain 1. It's pretty good. Man, I wish this weren't just in the yellows and the reds. Oh, it looks like it's just dying, this signal. That makes me sad. I wish it were clear. Triple Xanthax Harvester. Good lord, man. Gotta be the end of the line. Zizix Shockworm. That's a lot of commons. We're still in the commons, and we're about to hit the 12, I think. Martian Hounds as probably the single rare. That feels pretty light. It's not a very good one. I have made use of it. There was one deck that I made use of it. Yeah. On to the Sanctum. This card's good. It deploys. It's hard to remove. This card's good. It deploys. Hard to remove. Protect the weak. Pretty solid. Gives you an amber, whatever. You know. Shield of Justice also gives you an amber. You know. Sir Marrows. Smite. Barrister Joya. This card's cool. Enemy creatures can't reap. They just straight up can't. It's not that they get stunned. They just can't. Doorstep to Heaven. Awesome. Good control. Free Markets. That's fun. It's a solid deck too. Gatekeeper. Second piece of control in this house. Prince Derek Unifier. Again, if you can set that up, it's pretty decent. There's good creatures across the board in these three houses. Final card, Lord Golgotha from the original set. That might be a legacy. That's pretty cool. I like Lord Golgotha. A lot of creatures in this deck. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Maybe I'm just imagining it. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yeah, I might be just imagining it. 15, 16, 17, 18. Yeah, I was just imagining. 18. That's not that bad. Yeah, it's not a bad deck. That'd be fun. Be fun to play. No, Lord Golgotha is in this set. There he is. Cool. All right, what is that? 5 in, so about to be halfway through the box. We've got a 3-shard deck, and we've got some decent looking kind of combo-y decks. Ooh, I'll always be happy with blue backing. Alec, Palace First Mate. How do you have a first mate for a palace? It's sort of like a nautical thing. I'm not quite getting it, but sure. Palace First Mate. Okay, again, we're not looking at the deck list. We're just opening it and seeing what we get. There are some interesting, what's that sort of, I forget what he's called, like the unique disc dude that's got the 2 chains that goes with him, and you play the chains and they do things, and then you can return the chains. That one's pretty cool. That'd be fun. Maybe he's in here. Maybe he's somewhere else. Amber Imp. Dust Imp. Got to get all the imps. Collect them all. Gub. 3 creatures so far. Misery Exploit. That's kind of one of those that you want something to ping their board with before you play it. Double Misery Exploit. Maybe we can find something that pings the board. I can't think of anything off the top of my head. Out of disc, that is. Not Finished With You. We can pull 3 of those creatures back into our deck. Yerk. I want to mess around with Yerk. Oh, a gold key imp. How cool. They can't forge the 3rd key. I was thinking about this card. You know, I thought this card was like cool, and then I thought this card was like meh, and then I thought this card was cool again, and that's where I'm at right now. And I think it's cool because you play this down, you gain like amber enough to forge your 3rd key. Your opponent can't kill this if they want to win. Like if you're both equal and both of you could forge, you can play this down. If they kill it on their turn, they're not forging, and you are forging. And so it's an interesting card in that sense. I think it's better than some people are saying. Library of the Damned is always good. 2 Library of the Damned is better than 1. At least that's what they say. 3 Fates. And Tolas. Cool. This one is symmetrical, so it's kind of a weird card. All right, on to Mars. Carpet Flotsam. Collector Worm. Glixel Proliferator. Yeah, it does. It works both ways. It definitely works both ways. You can't forge your third key, and they can't forge their third key. But when you would want to remove said third, if they want to forge their third key, like I feel like you could set that up in such a way. I guess it's always contingent upon the deck, but you could do some interesting things with that. I'm gonna try to say it. Ixixley, Fix Finger. I still can't do it. Ixixley. Mind Warper. Still an interesting card. Not as good as it used to be. Mother Gun. Particularly if there are no Mars Firsts, and we passed the Mars Firsts point. Vesma Think Drone. I got a deck yesterday, or Thursday, with 3 Vesma Think Drones in it. Zizix Shockworm. Combat Pheromones. Good to be able to use your Mars creatures. At least 2 of them. This card is good, man. This card is really good. It's a 2/1. It goes great with this guy. It goes really well with him. Card is really good. Your opponent's keys just cost 10 if he's surrounded by stuff. It's mean. Orbital Bombardment, also pretty solid. Just pop the board and gain an amber. Zorg. I'm not crazy about Zorg. I don't like cards that interplay stunned, unless they have taunt. And on to the Untamed. Darna. Again, I'm not crazy about that card either. Dusk Witch. I feel like we've seen that in so many of these decks thus far. Fang House. I mean, it is common, so you're supposed to see that card a lot. I get that. Ooh, a Glimmer. Cool. I didn't have a Glimmer before, but this is a really cool one. Alpha, it's a body, and it says return a card from your discard pile to your hand. So it's literally 1 proc of the Reap effect on Witch of the Eye. But you have to do it first, so you can't play something and then do it. So it's like a lot more balanced, which is interesting. Grove Keeper. Persistence Hunting. So you could play this the turn before and then Glimmer it back to your hand. Regrowth. Pretty cool. Grab a Glimmer. Do it again. Save the pack. What about They're Everywhere? Ha! Called it. Good for save the pack combos. Double They're Everywhere. Sweet. Pop the board. Earthbind, an interesting one. It's an interesting one. And the final rare is, oh, this other card that I saw today for the first time. Look at this. Heart of the Forest. It's an artifact. And each player cannot forge keys while they have more forged keys than their opponent. So if it's 2-1 to you, you can't forge key 3 until I forge key 2. That is super cool. I like that. I like this side of the Untamed. That's some pretty interesting Untamed cards in general. Some of those, I like those. Not a bad deck either, man. See, like some of these I would just straight up play just for fun. Again, they're not breaking everything apart. They're just kind of fun. Alec, Palace First Mate. All right, we're 6 in. Outside of that first one, these other ones are just pretty interesting. They're not like crazy. Of course, then again, if we're comparing it to the last box that we opened, which was bonkers, then we're gonna have a hard time matching it. Okay, I love logos. I like where they're going with Mars, and Dis seems interesting. Of course, this is the 4th disc deck in a row, so I mean we're kind of getting to that point where we've seen most of those interesting disc cards, except that one dude that I mentioned him earlier. The deck is an interesting name. Portifier, Spawn of AlphaCast. AlphaCast sounds like a podcast name. Banish. Binding Irons, I'm happy with that. That's 2 good control cards. Let's keep it going. Not finished with you. Let's pull something back. Let's get some creatures then. What are we going to play for creatures? Double Not Finished with You. Schuler, okay. I can go with that one. It's good steal. Tesmal. See, that's a good thing to pull back right there. Put that back in the deck. Unlocked Gateway for some clear. Anguish. This is another cool card. So for each damage he has, your opponent's keys cost 1 more. So if he takes 3, then your opponent's keys cost 9. And so he's like just a body that is, at that point, also a lash, you know? Pain Reaction. This is another card I just saw. Deal 2 to an enemy creature, and if it kills it, then you pop the sides. It splashes for 2. It gives you an amber as well. It's uncommon. So we got some uncommon cards in this one. Poltergeist. Oops. Bumped all these. 1, 2, 3, 4. Cool. Poltergeist. Use an artifact. Good artifact control. Spider. He gains poison while attacking an enemy flank creature. Otherwise, he's just got skirmish. So he either deals 2 or he deals infinite. That's pretty cool. Got the orb again. Which is cool because, in fact, like none of these creatures really want... I guess that's not true. Tesmal, you want to reap with Tesmal because obviously. But none of the other ones you care about reaping with. So that one kind of has some good little synergy. Okay, on to Logos. Let's straighten these up. Yeah, is that right? None of these creatures... There weren't many creatures, so it makes the 2 not finished with use not very good. Like, you don't care about reaping with Schuler specifically. Tesmal, you do want to reap with for the effect. Spider, you want to fight with. Anguish, you want to fight with to get him damaged. Yeah. There's only a few disc creatures, but the disc actions were really good. Okay, Binate Rupture. A tough... Oh, a Brig deck. People talk about that, man. Lab work, so you can archive. Outside of, like, exactly Brig, which is Binate Rupture plus Interdimensional Graft, that card can be hard to use at times. Library of Babel for some draw. Titan Librarian, just in case you want to do more archiving. It's got to be not on a flank, though. Titan Mechanic, who does want to be on a flank. That's some like synergy right there, man. Just pop them like that, and you're good. ZYX Researcher, pretty sweet card. I like this card a lot. Of course, I like archiving, so let's get 2 of them. Why not, right? Backup Copy. That's a fun card. I put that on Archimedes. Then I traded all 3 of the cards next, or the 2 of the cards next to Archimedes. In fact, check this out. I did it even crazier in a game that I played. Played Archimedes, played this on Archimedes, had a card over here as a helper bot. Fought, archived it. Fought, archived it. This next one slid over. Fought, archived it. It was sweet. It works on every turn, indeed, yes. Every turn you would trigger the Titan Librarian at the end of each turn, which is pretty cool. Anyway. Brain Eater. It's a good little body. Good dude. Hey! Interdimensional Graft. Look at that. And this is a decent deck so far, so that's pretty good. 2 of them? No. Strange Gizmo, though. It's an interesting one. So much archiving. Double Strange Gizmo. Blow the board up. Play them both out there. Jam them down. Okay, on to Mars. What do we get with Mars? Let's see. Agent Human. Carpet Floatsome. Which, you know, surprisingly, this is actually a pretty good deck so far for Carpet Floatsome. How many creatures? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. Yeah, so this is a pretty decent... Actually, you know, that's kind of interesting. Strange Gizmo is totally fine if your deck is, like, all control. Like, look, there's, like, tons of artifacts. There's artifact control. There's, like, things that kill, make the keys harder, blow the board up, pick your house, steal a little bit. I mean, this is not bad for a Carpet Floatsome, because you're not necessarily going to have a board if you don't have many creatures in the deck. But, like, so far, that's okay. It's interesting. It's kind of cool. Collector Worm. Now, it might all go by the wayside if we have a ton of creatures. And we have 2 of these. And what's his face over here? It's pretty cool. Mars needs Amber. Gives you an Amber. Mind Warper. Don't really care to see him there. Oh, so we got 2 of them. I shouldn't say things, man. I should not say things. What am I doing? Mother Gun. Again, that's a pretty good artifact. There's a lot of artifacts in this deck. So we can archive them with Vesma Think Drone. Interesting. Xanthix Harvester. 2 of them. So there's some creatures on this side. Red Planet Raygun. I guess that's pretty good for this many creatures in the deck. And the final card, Yuxlix the Zookeeper. That's a good final card, man. No rares on the Mars side of things, but that's not bad. How many? It definitely added to the creature count here. Yeah, we added to the creature count, but the idea is the same. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 out of 12 for the Mars side. Yeah, but the idea is the same. Like, you play Binate Rupture and Interdimensional Graft if you can land it, and then you just kind of use all these other control pieces. So it's interesting. Like, they have, say your opponent has like 6 amber, make it 12, make them to where they have to give all their extra to you. It's not bad, man. It's not bad. And the rest of this is playable. That's a pretty good deck. I'd play that just to try it. Boom. Portifier, Spawn of AlphaCast. All right, continuing on. Let's go. Let's go. We are opening these at a much faster rate than a previous chance. Come on, man. We got more of this Untamed stuff. How many Untamed do we open? 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the 5. We've opened... This is the 4th with Brobnar. This is only the 3rd. No, 4th. This is the 4th with Sanctum as well. Still looking for that Sanctum deck that just like blows me away with regards to like amazing creatures and like all the control. There was one of them that I remember being pretty good, but I can't remember it. Hey, this has got Yara as the name. Yara, Lord Spectre Barnum. I always get these ones with quotes in them. I'm not crazy about the quote names. 1-2 Punch. Starting with Brobnar. 1-2 Punch. Man, we've seen so many Brobnar cards. Bramo. Double Bramo. Coward's End. Which is not very good when you have a deck with Bramo in it, because he deals damage to the sides. First Blood. Gauntlet of Command. I will always like Gauntlet of Command. Groggins. Into the Fray. That's a good card. Trimmer. Good card. Little Rapskull. It's a funny one. I like how it makes your opponent have to fight as well. It's pretty interesting. Man, Signal, come on. Sound the horns. There's not a ton of Brobnar creatures so far. Well, maybe that's not true. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, actually, no, there's not. So that's going to burn through your deck, which is actually kind of cool. What was that? That look bent? No. Cybergiant Rig. Okay, on to Sanctum. Yeah, so interestingly enough, when you only have 1, 2, 3, and 4. When you only have 4 Brobnar creatures and you play this card, it basically says discard your entire deck and reshuffle, which oftentimes can be very good. In fact, that's basically all I used it for today, because this was in my deck and I had 3 Brobnar creatures. And so I would mulligan for really good cards, and I would play out some really strong turns that I could with the deck that I was, given today at the tournament. And then at some point, I would constantly be thinking, is it time to just shuffle and try to get those really good cards back? Shuffle and try to get the... Yes, now's the moment. Gain the Amber, when I'm ready to forge a key on the next turn or whatever. Gain the Amber, shuffle the deck, grab the good cards, and keep it going. And that worked surprisingly well. So I didn't really use it as find more creatures to play. I used it as get the cards back that were good and keep on going. Speaking of good cards, let's look at the Sanctum creatures that really stick around if you let them. 2 Lion Botrums. Let's see if there's a third one or something like that. No, but there's an Abond the Armor Smith. Again, makes it very tough for you to deal with these big creatures, especially the big board clears are mostly gone. There's Dis, but outside of that, there's like not a ton. It's hard to get the Save the Pack to trigger when all of these guys have armor. Deploy and Taunt. So you could technically put Shall the Safeguard in between 2 Lion Botrums, and she will move to an 8 power, 2 armor. And then you could also play Abond the Armor Smith to gain to 3 armor. And at which point, you would just reap the entire game and make your opponent remove your stuff. Hallowed Shield. Well, drop all the cards. Shield of Justice. Double Shield of Justice. It's kind of sad. It's good amber, I guess, but whatever. Take Hostages. Also kind of sad. Card's not great. Double. So I should, of course. So I get 2. Double Take Hostages. The Spirit's Way. It's got some anti-synergy in this deck because you've got 3 creatures in Brobnar that it kills. And it kills, so far, just about all of your... unless those are 4s. Yeah, they're 4s. Yeah, they're 4s. Actually, it doesn't kill your... that's not bad, then. It does not kill your Sanctum creatures, so far, not bad. Oh, an Epic Quest! Okay, now we get to rethink the entire deck. Oh, it does kill Lord Golgotha, but there you go. Okay, Dusk Witch. Let's finish and then talk about Epic Quest. Glimmer. Cool. 2 Glimmers and an Epic Quest. How fun. Marmo Swarm. Double Marmo Swarm. Wow, that's a lot of creatures. That's good for Dusk Witch. Regrowth. Sure. Save the Pack. Song of Spring to pull all those untamed creatures back into your hand. Or, sorry, back into the deck. Shuffle it back into the deck. 2 of them, just in case, you know. Man, I'm dropping like crazy. Frames forever. They're everywhere. Again, a great combo with your Save the Packs. Last 2, Vigor. Ooh, old school Vigor. And finally, Fog Bank. Cannot Fight. That would be good playing that and then following that up with Dusk Witch. Okay, so this is an Epic Quest deck. Okay, so let's take a look at archiving potential. There's not a ton of archiving potential, period, in Untamed, so we don't have to worry about that. You can archive 1. 2. Cannot archive this guy. He's not a knight. 3, 4. And there's no archiving in this that I can see. No. So you would have to work a bit. And this is the way that my other Epic Quest went. I would, you know, like I would stick like 2 or 3 of these and then I'd archive them as quickly as possible. And then I'd try to fill my hand with all of these actions. So like I would try to fill up with, you know, a creature or whatever, but mostly I tried to fill up with these actions where you just play like take hostages, shield of justice, and then play all of your archived Sanctum Knights. And it's doable, but it's not great. It could be better. If there were more archive potential, it wouldn't be as bad. But alas, yeah, Vigor is a legacy card. So this deck has a lot going for it in the sense of like people like Double Glimmer, people like legacy cards, people like Epic Quest, yeah. And there's some decent little pieces on the other side of things with Brobnar. Yeah, not bad. Could have been better. Only 4 left. Only 4 decks left. Come on, something awesome. Calcite Skull. Square Duchess. Calcite Skull. Someone look up what calcite is. Can you show the bottom of the Vigor card? Yeah, sure. find it again. Yeah, look at that. They put a little, I'll focus it too. Interesting. Little fleck there. What is that? Is that trying to say something? Huh. Is that the symbol from the original set? I guess that's a way to tell its legacy. Interesting. Okay. Picking up where we left off. Trying to figure out if there's something interesting in this deck. There is a symbol, but honestly, I don't know if that's a symbol on every legacy thing because I don't remember it being there. Well, that's not the only this one had a legacy, right? Did it? No. That one had the 2 Brobnar ambassadors, which is sweet. This one had it? Nope. Continuing on. Yeah, it looks like the symbol set from Call of the Archons, like a weird die, which is hilarious because they don't like dice in this. Look, this Archon is headless and sort of square, so I guess the name is applicable. Starting with Mars, Agent Human. I know people say Mars is super good, but some of these creatures just don't do it for me. Maybe it's just me. Like, they're cool, I guess. Mars First, that card I do like. I do like me some Mars Firsts. Mother Gun. Vesma, think drone because you want to put the Mother Gun in your hand. Oh wait, no. Yixlix Dominate. This is the only card that I don't mind coming in stunned. Every other card that comes in stunned, I'm like, no thank you. Yixlix Dominator, I'm like, yes please. Amber Conduction Unit. Pretty good. I like that one. If it's the first creature to reap, it gets stunned. Exterminate is a pretty cool one. It's great for Yixlix Dominator. You just pick what you want to die. Nizik Resonator is also good. Red Planet Raygun. Pretty sweet. I think that's in focus. I did mess with the focus for us to see those cards. Speaking of things that come in stunned, boo. I don't like Zorg coming in stunned. I guess he's a threat like Eternal, right? But still, don't like him. Martian Hounds as the rare from the Mars house. And then on to Shadows, okay? Shadows, bad penny, not great in this set, but we got 2 of them, so I shouldn't complain about cards. They're just gonna show up. Oh my God, seriously? Oh, that's so sad. 4, no. Knuckles Bolton. Lamindra, because you want to make your bad pennies elusive. Oh, that's hilarious. Hidden Stash is a great card. Heist Knight. What is this? Alpha. Steal 1 for each friendly thief creature. Wait a minute. Oh, sweet. This actually works. Oh, would you look at that? Now, you do have to stick them because, you know, they go back to your hand, and this is an alpha. You have to play it first. But, hey, that's actually pretty cool. Huh. Oh, my goodness. We got a Plague Rat deck. Let's get it. Come on. 1, 2, 3. It's funny because the Plague Rats kill your they kill your stupid bad pennies. 4. And then just 4. Okay, Ring of Invisibility. And then on to the Untamed. That's kind of funny, though. That's interesting. I think it's actually probably better that you don't have, like, more than... Or actually, I don't know. Maybe it's not. Maybe when you have Plague Rats, you just want to commit to Plague Rats and, like, have 7 of them. I don't know. You play it, it deals 1. You play it, it deals 2. That's 3 damage. You play it, it deals 3. That's 6 damage. You play the 4th one. That deals 4. It's 10 damage. So maybe that's good. I don't know, man. Interesting. It's interesting. How does it compare? I shouldn't even be looking right now. I should be waiting. Yeah, there's like half creatures in that. So, or more than half of creatures. So it kind of kills your own stuff too. Fang House. Full Moon. Man, if only you could cheat out Full Moon and play all these Plague Rats. Grove Keeper. Marmo Swarm. Persistence Hunting. They're everywhere. Life Web, that's a fun card. I like Life Web. Nature's Call, I like that as well. You can return up to 3 of your Plague Rats to your hand. Nepenthe Seed. It's fun. Ah, yes. I have the other one. Panpaka Jaga. This is the one to the left. They gain Skirmish. The one to the right gives them power. Wave the Porcupine. And the last card, Fuzzy Gruen. Get 2 amber, give them 1. That's not a bad. It's not a bad Untamed side. How many creatures is that? 2. But all of them gain you amber. All right, so it's like 5 creatures. Yeah, with Full Moon, and the rest of this stuff either gains you amber or it's Nepenthe Seed. That's not bad. That's a lot of amber gain. Your Plague Rats, not bad. Heist Knight, that's super interesting. Heist Knight. 1 thief, 2 thief, 3, 4, 5 thieves. And they don't do anything with them. It's just for each friendly thief creature you have. So it doesn't even get rid of them. It just, they stick. And you just steal. I like that. I like that. I would play this deck. I feel like I've said that for most of these, but this one I would play. Triple Bad Penny. It's funny because you go, well, that sucks, Triple Bad Penny, but then you realize, like, simply because of the card Heist Knight, you're like, all right, I can stick with that. I could give that a shot. Brobnar, Sanctum, Shadows, Warlord A. Sira. No, it's literally just Sira. I can't open it again. Warlord A. Sira. When do you have the time to play 24 decks? Well, you see, being a teacher, as you know, gives you a bit of time during the summer. And I do actually have the time to play a lot of these decks. Oh, that's cool looking, all the rain symbols. I run through decks a lot in Crucible. I play a ton on the Crucible, and oftentimes I'll play just like one deck, then get rid of it, or just move to the next deck, move to the next deck, move to the next deck. Yeah, I play a ton. I probably play Keyforge and Hearthstone more than anything. Hearthstone's so easy because it's phone. It's on the phone. Just pop it up whenever. Keyforge is easy because most of the time you can just hop on. I cannot get this plastic. Goodness gracious. There we go. Jeez. You just hop on and there's other people playing, so yeah, you can kind of get through decks, especially if you only play like a deck 1 or 2 times and then move to the next one just to try everything out. Plus, I like the idea of like getting a bunch of different types of decks, like the Shard deck here, this Plague Rat deck, Epic Quest, that sort of thing. Yes, I agree that Dalaran Heist is super fun. I played way too much of it, and now I'm starting to get burned out of it because I like blew through all the easy mode stuff, and now I'm going through it on Heroic. Brobnar, 1-2 punch. Go, go, go. Double 1-2 punch. Which is a good combo in and of itself because the first one stuns, the second one kills, you get 2 amber. Everyone's happy. So there's 3 of them. There you go. 4 of them. Nah, but you got Bingle Bang Bang. Which is a hilarious thing to say. 2 of them. You stick them, you punch them, blow everything up. Groak. Okay, so I was playing next to some other people today, and someone, I swear, said, and then you grope. And I thought that that some gross things were going on, but nope, it's just grope. That's pretty cool redundancy in this deck so far. Okay. Pound. Double pound. Wow, that's a lot of amber generation for these actions. Flamethrower kind of sucks, but whatever. Cyber Giant Rig. That's the last one, right? Yeah, and then we go on to Sanctum. That's a lot of redundancy. It's kind of cool. 2 pounds, 2 Groaks, which I think is a fine card if you can stick it. 2 Bingle Bang Bangs, which is kind of tough to deal with. 3 1/2 punches. That's interesting. Abond the Armorsmith. 2 Abond the Armorsmiths. They give each other 1 armor. This card. I love this card. Please be more than 1. This card is so cool. Capture 3, then you just start reaping with them constantly. Just discard, discard, discard. Nah, of course it skipped. Let's keep it going. Hallowed Shield. Double Hallowed Shield. See, it's an artifact. Artifacts are so slow, man. Play them out, they don't do anything. It's like do nothing card. Fully heal the creature. Maruk the Marked. It's pretty cool. Wait, that's great with 2 armor smiths. There's a lot of capturing, man. A lot of capturing. Shield of Justice doesn't take any damage. It's cool. So let the armor soak up the first. But I don't know if that triggers actually. Take hostages. The harder they come. Martyr's End. Look at the sweet art for this. I saw this yesterday too. Just blow up your entire side and gain a bunch of armor. Plus it gives you an armor too. Alright, on to Shadows, Furtive Investors. This card seems too situational to be good. They have to have more than you, and then you gain 1 for each key that they forge. So you can't play it early game unless you're playing it for 1 amber, which is not a bad play, sure. Lamindra. It's a good card. Life for a Life. Which is funny because we were already killing all of our stuff with Martyr's End. Now we're doing it with Life for Life. Nerve Blast. I'll never say no to Nerve Blast. Ronnie Wrist Clocks. Solid. 2 of them. Also solid. Umbra. Old school Umbra. Just sticks around, fights to steal. Whistling Darts. Double Whistling Darts. There's a lot of redundancy in this deck. That's cool. I like that because it means it's consistent. Lights Out, put some stuff back in their hand. This feels very tempo-y. If you have more amber than your opponent, they can discard a random card from their hand and you draw 1, which is cool. Gives you an amber before it happens too, so it's likely. And then a Subtle Maul. Subtle Maul is a good little artifact. That's an interesting deck. What jumped out at me? Oh, the Double Abond, the Armorsmith. That's right. So that just seems interesting to try and deal with. All right, 2 left. 2 of them left. 2 decks enter. 1 deck is hopefully good. Hey, this one's raining too on this deck. T-Bra! Pomza's Draconian Antenna. Pomza's Draconian Antenna. Yes, please. Scissors, because I'm done trying to pull this. Come on, man. Get there. So I'm bummed that that they weren't able, or aren't thus far able to get all the cards and stuff into the Crucible online. Because I would be playing the heck out of this stuff if they did. I think this set is a lot of fun. I don't know if I'm having more fun just because I've played in person a few more times than with the first set, or if I just enjoy the speed of this more, but I am enjoying it a lot. All right, starting with this, banish. Double banish, I like that. That's fine, that's great. Charrette, so we're capturing now, cool. So archives, opponent's archives, and capture. Destroy something of theirs, the least powerful creature. Lash to make their keys cost more. Damaged creature, that one doesn't have as much utility thus far. The other ones are good by themselves. There's not a ton of creatures so far in this, so there better be creatures in the other houses, because right now we're up like 7 cards now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, this is the 7th card, and there's only 1 creature in this here. 2 of them though. Schuler is a good one to put back in. Yeah, I'd love to play. Come on, we should definitely do it. York. Discard some stuff. Blood Shard Imp. This one's cool. It's a pretty cool card. Gongoozle. I'm a fan. It's either deal 3, gain an amber, or it's gain an amber, deal 3, discard, or kill something, I should say. Or it's deal 3, they discard a card. All right, on to Logos. We've got Binate Rupture to make our hands awkward and to give our opponent stuff. Lab Work to make our hands a little bit better, do some archiving. Poke, because we just want to keep gaining amber. Double Poke, because we want to just keep gaining amber. Cool with it. Bouncing Death Quirk, that's a great card. We're already, wow, we're only 5 cards in, and we're already in the uncommons. Cool. Director of ZYX. Pretty cool. This happens before you name a house and before you take your archive. So this is technically, at the start of your turn, draw a card, which is cool. But you don't have to draw it if you don't like it. Jar Goggle, I still think this is cool too. It's a body on Master Plan. You just got to get him killed. But yeah, that's neat. Quantum Finger Trap, a terrible card. Yeah. Rocket Boots, so you can, I don't know. What would you do with Rocket Boots this far? Basically nothing. Basically nothing. Rocket Boots. Chaos Portal. And, oh, Crazy Killing Machine's back. It's an interesting card. Oh my gosh, a Neutron Shark. Here we go. Throw the Rocket Boots on Neutron Shark. Blow everything up. Do it. Blow it all up. All right, on to Mars. Agent Human. Glixel Proliferator. Ixixley Fix Finger. I'm getting better at saying that one. Ixixley. The Sky Booster Squadron is just a cool card. Tixel Beam Buckler. I love how they put a ton of armor onto these guys. Xanthix Harvester. Zizix Shockworm. Combat Pheromones. Make things easier to use. Exterminate. There are a lot of Mars creatures so far, so that one is pretty good. Hypno Beam. Red Planet Ray Gun. Oh, we've gotten that in like a lot of these Mars decks. And, whoa, that's cool. What is this? Killzord Mark 9001. This creature gets +2 armor and +2 power. It gets fight, gain 1 chain. Whoa. It gains skirmish and fight, gain 1 chain. 2 armor, 2 power, skirmish, and fight, gain 1 chain. But could you play that on something that you want to reap with? Interesting. Like, throw it on this so that he never dies. You get +2, so you go to 5, and you get 2 armor. NES Skirmish, if you want to use that. That's interesting. You could play it on this. It becomes a 4/4. Comes a 5/2. That's interesting. Yeah, kind of a weird deck, but not bad. All right, we're on to the last deck, the final deck. Yeah, Neutron Shark is in this set. I kind of assumed as much, but there it is. The final deck. The last one. It's hard to say this box has been as good as the first box. The first box provided 2 Mavericks, and it provided 2 Legacy cards, and it provided that insane deck at the end, which was so fun. Hey, but these 3 houses are super fun to me. The name of this deck is a total mouthful, so that's kind of unfortunate. But let's go. Let's go. This box, again, was essentially free because it was picked up in a sealed tournament. Ended up winning the whole thing. And the top prize, I give up. The top prize was a full box. So everything here is all just cake. I got pretty terrible. I guess I shouldn't sell it that much. I was able to win the whole thing with it, so it wasn't, I guess, not as bad as I expected at first. But I looked at the thing. The deck that I won with had 12 creatures. It had 20 actions. It had 3 artifacts and an upgrade. And I thought to myself, wow, I spent $15, and I'm going to just cross my fingers that I get 1 win. And I ended up getting 4. So, hey, man, it wasn't as bad as it could be. All right, here we go. Starting with Archimedes and Logos. This card is super cool, super fun. I like it. Continuing on. Helperbot. If you put Archimedes and Helperbot next to each other and you trade off Helperbot, then you can do crazy things. Hexpeon. It's not cool. Or it's a cool card. Not crazy because it's a destroyed effect. Next to Archimedes, though, it's not bad. More archiving. Let's archive everything. Again, I like Archive. Archive is fun. Pip Pip. Pretty sweet. Poke. Ah, yes. Professor Sutterkin. Come on. Let's do what we did yesterday on the final deck. Let's get 2. Yes. Yes. Okay, it's not as exciting as it was yesterday because I literally had it happen yesterday, and so, but it's still pretty sweet. Oh, that's awesome. 2 of them are sweet. And a Brain Eater to draw some cards. That's pretty cool. On to the uncommons. Research Smoko. Man, archiving like crazy. Good for Archimedes as well. Oh, and a Neutron Shark. Oh, man, that's sweet. That's awesome. That's pretty cool. All right. Oh, what? Oh, man, that's a Maverick Logos. They're everywhere. Oh, man, this last deck, not letting this stream die. We got a Maverick. They're everywhere. That is cool looking. Oh, man. So out of 24 decks, we've gotten 3 Mavericks, 3 Legacies. That's pretty sweet. I was not expecting that. Awesome. Okay, on to the Mars. Let's get going. Carpet Flotsam. Glixel Proliferator. My goodness. You and the Maverick luck is right. Ixlixley. Ixixley. I got it now. It's Ixixley Fixed Finger. Tixel Beam Buckler. This one does not have Agent Human in it, thankfully. I do not like that card. Vesma Think Drone. Put the Neutron Shark back into my hand. That'd be pretty sweet. Shockworm Boy. The Amber Conduction Unit. It's a pretty cool little one. Exterminate Again. I've gotten that in like 3 of these different decks. Red Planet Ray Gun again. Oh my goodness. Sample collection as the final uncommon, I'm guessing. And Ukes licks the Zookeeper. I think that rounds out the Mars side. Oops. Drawing all these cards. Oh, yes! Martian Generosity. Get there. Oh, my God. The final deck. Let's go. How much amber do we generate so far, though? I don't know, man. I don't know, but that's so sweet. Oh, that's awesome. I love it. Okay. Oh, and it's in a deck with two of the other cool houses. Oh, that's so cool. Okay, so Abad the Grim, you can play him and capture some stuff. He's sweet. I love that card. And Blinding Light, one of my other favorite cards of Sanctum. Gain an amber, make your opponent's life miserable. Golden Aura. I'm growing on this card. I used to hate it. I guess used to. When I opened it for the first time and read it, or when I saw it on the internet, I kind of hated it. But the more I think about it, the more I realize it's pretty sweet. Healing Blast. It gives you an amber, and that's all you care about. This last deck, man, this has been sweet. Maruk the Marked. Not as good there, but still. Shield of Justice. Again, gives you an amber. Sir Marrows. Capturing. Some more capturing. Double Sir Marrows, because you want to just keep it going, man. You just want to keep it going. Ah, and the Grey Rider. I love that he's got Deploy as well. You just plop him down and then fight with one of your big dudes. Ah, Gatekeeper too. Good control. This has turned out to be a great final deck. And a Logos Ambassador. Oh, that's sweet. How gross would it be if this were a if this were a Mars Ambassador? That would have been awesome. And ending with a Vamos Lightbringer. Now that was a good final deck too. So we got a Martian Generosity, which makes me happy because I love card draw. And it's in a deck that already has card draw with Professor Sutterkin and technically with Brain Eater, but it's already kind of built in. It's got some archiving stuff, which is pretty sweet. Archive that. Play the one non-logos card. Wait a minute. I didn't think about this. You could play Helperbot into Martian Generosity. How much amber can this generate? A Maverick, they're everywhere. Get that. Come on. Got archive there. Technically, these guys reap. Poke is one. Lab work is one. So you can at least gain 3 amber with this. And then play Martian Generosity using the Helperbot, right? Play that. Lose 4 amber, because this would be the 4th. Draw 8 cards. And then continue to play Logos creatures. Including, but not limited to, your Neutron Shark. So that you can kill a bunch of stuff that's on the board. That is a sweet deck. And it's got all of these cool little pieces on this side. I mean, technically you could like just jam a bunch of stuff, right? What if you, what could you do here? Fight Reap, you could play. Oh my God, wait, hold on. What? This is cool. So if you can stick a Logos Ambassador and on the same turn play like Shield 1, 2, 3. Oh no, it's the same thing. Same sort of thing. It gains you 3 amber. And then you play this. So you can do that 2 ways, though. You can use the Logos Ambassador after you've played some cards that give you amber from 0 to get to 4 amber by playing those other 3 amber-producing cards in Sanctum. You can play, or you could fight or reap with your Logos Ambassador. Fight, reap. You can play or use a Logos card this turn. To play a Helperbot, which says you may play 1 non-Logos card this turn to play Martian Generosity. Is that crazy? Yes. Is it hilarious? Yes. And am I going to do it? Probably not. But do I want to try? Yes. So just get off my back, because that's amazing. And I love that. There's the deck list. Well, I'm super pumped that the final deck at least provided me that one piece that I was kind of most hoping for, which was Martian Generosity. So we got a Maverick. We got, is this the Legacy? No. Where was the Legacy? We looked at it together. It was Vigor. Where was the Vigor Legacy? We got a Vigor for our Legacy, which is pretty sweet. We got a Plague Rat deck. Yeah, here's the Vigor. Straight up. We got a Plague Rat deck. We got an Epic Quest deck, which wasn't very good, but who cares? We got a Triple Shard deck that had a Legacy card in it, which was a Fire Spitter, which is pretty sweet. Yeah, man, that was a good box too. I mean, most of these decks were sort of just that middle of the road kind of feeling that didn't like really get you going. But yeah, no, I'm into that. That's super fun. Oh, that was enjoyable. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for watching these and talking with me. Oh, I'm gonna go scan all of these in now and see what they look like. With 24, I guess 25 technically, because I had to buy one today. 25 AoA decks. 24 of them on stream. One of them to provide these other 12 decks that we opened. So, pretty sweet. Thanks for showing up, everybody. Have a good one.